BX, Puerto Rican girl, would be able to run for Congress in New York City. We all, thought that's it. The big money's there, and we don't got it, so that's a wrap. My name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I am running for Congress in New York's 14th congressional district in the Bronx and Queens. And we're running to bring this political revolution to the Bronx. This is New York City. We got to keep it real. We got to stop pretending that everything is all right because we vote blue in presidential elections. It's not all right, and we got to make it right. Buenos días. Estoy postulando por Congreso aquí en el área. It's just a hustle. It's just a hustle. If we're going to have any seat in Congress that is going all out for Medicare for all, tuition-free public college, abolishing ICE, it's got to be this one. This district is half immigrant. I get knocked a lot about talking about this point. They're like, why are you talking about being Latina? This is identity politics. There's a difference between saying, vote for me, I'm Latina, and saying Latinos deserve representation and a seat at the table. And that is profoundly important in a city that is 56% people of color, in a district that's 70% people of color. Now, when we're on that national stage and ICE isn't getting the pushback, and that labor issues in our community are not getting advocated for, we are working class people. And to fail working class Americans is also to fail Latino Americans. ¿Te vas? Gracias por todo. Ay, cuides. O si no te veo un poquito más ahorita. One of my biggest insecurities going into this was like, mira, porque yo hablo como así, like I speak like a girl from the block because I learned how to speak Spanish on the street. I grew up first generation in the Bronx. Mi mamá limpiaba casas. My dad had a little small business that struggled like the majority of the time of me growing up. I myself, when my family was struggling to make ends meet, I had a day job, and I waitressed, and I bartended, and I was shoulder to shoulder with undocumented people in the back of house. I know my community. I live here. And I know that all of these narratives that people talk about with non-voters are wrong. I know that it's not that people don't vote because they're uneducated. It's not that people don't vote because they're uninformed or that they don't understand. People aren't voting because no one's speaking to them. And so we decided, you know what? It's got to end. The thing about New York is that it is notoriously difficult to get on the ballot. Most candidates pay $20,000 to $40,000 to get on the ballot. They contract a consulting group that collects all of those signatures that they need, and se acabó. But we didn't have that kind of money to just, toss out there. The day before we had the candidate deadline, no one in New York City thought that we had the signatures. They said, oh, this is a problem that's going to take care of itself. We showed up and turned in 5,480 signatures to the Board of Elections on no money, because that is what we can accomplish when we come together. Our incumbent has lived in Virginia full-time for 20 years. How can you possibly know what our needs are when your kids don't go to these schools, when you don't drink this water, when you don't take the subway, and you've been remote controlling for 20 years? The game is changing, and the way that people have run for office doesn't have to be the way that you run. If you come from a working class background, if you're first generation, if you're a woman, if you're a person of color, whatever it is, the reason we haven't had seats in office is because we felt like we couldn't. We didn't have access to those things, the money, the social connections, all of those things that would require that. I think the first thing that we're showing is that a new day is here. I need people across the country also doing what I'm doing. And you don't have to just go along to get along. And it doesn't mean that you're being difficult, because what takes courage is looking at our own backyard and saying, we got some cleaning up to do.